Hi, everybody. Robin here at Toadstool Tarot. Welcome back. I see Marilyn's Tarot Take in the room, Simon at the Hermit's Cave, Chris, Elemental Cardamansky, and Saskia Handley. Welcome. It's a dreary day in New York, and I think that there's supposed to be a hurricane or something off the coast, or a big storm. Anyway, it's going to be a dreary weekend, so I'm probably staying in today. I wasn't here last week. Apologies, and I want to thank everybody. I appreciate everybody that expressed concern. I did post a little note on my information page or whatever on my channel indicating I was going to be away. I debated what to do. I went on vacation, very brief vacation, to the Cape Cod, to Boston and Provincetown, and I had a horrible head cold. So right up until the time I got out of the taxi at the train station, I was kind of debating, should I even go or take the cab back home and skip it? But all the plans and tickets had been made and arranged for and paid, and I was going with somebody, so it was like, they would have to go alone. And anyway, I went, and I would say that it was kind of a mixed trip. I was, nearing the end of my cold, but was still kind of bad. I still have it a week later. These days, I don't get over a cold in 3 days. It takes me about 2.5 weeks. But beautiful weather, little bit on the chilly side or cool side, but beautiful sunny weather. More traveling than I would have liked. And because there was a ocean storm threatening at the time, we were going to take a train and then a ferry to Provincetown from Boston, and the ferry was canceled. So we ended up having to take a bus from Boston. So between the train and the bus, we actually did them 2 different days because of the scheduling. So we kind of like blew a day in Boston, not doing very much of anything. I did go to see the Boston Commons, and it's a very nice park, but other than that and having a meal, I didn't really do much. We had a bed and breakfast there. We had a bit kind of an adventure in the bed and breakfast. We were on the 4th floor of the bed and breakfast. Very nice place, but they said you have to walk up 2 flights and then there's an elevator to the 4th floor. Now the elevator goes down further than the 2nd floor, but they indicated you had to go catch it on the 2nd floor up. So we did. And then when we went out to dinner, we thought, well, let's see what happens if we take the elevator all the way down. We took it as far as we could, and there was like an exit door, but it said kind of like emergency only or something. And so my partner went through the door, and I followed, but I kind of held the door, just for a minute. And then he saw a second door in that room and went through that. And I thought, well, should I stay here and hold the door? What should I do? And then I followed him. And as soon as my door shut, he'd gone through the other door, and I followed him. And then, of course, both doors were shut and locked, and we couldn't get back through. We were in a big lobby area with an escalator and scaffolding and plastic draping everywhere. And you could see outside the front of the building, there was a wall of windows and a revolving door, but it had a ladder in it and it was locked off. There was no escape. I thought, great, we're going to spend our night in Boston sleeping on the floor or on the escalator because we're trapped in here because we did what we were told not to do. So that was kind of an exciting adventure. So anyway, I thought, well, how are we going to get out? We do have our phones on us, but he hadn't gotten much response from the people that arranged the bed and breakfast, and had sort of just dealt with them in text. And I thought, we don't even know who to call in building security to get us out of here. Anyway, we went up the stairs where the escalators went. They weren't functional at the time. And we found another door and went through it, and we got out. But it was a thrilling moment for a while there. I thought, oh, great, we kind of screwed ourselves over. We're trapped in this, Twilight Zone lobby where we can't get out. And we're stuck here until the morning when people show up for work to let us out. And we paid for a bed and breakfast. Anyway, we went down the hall, and there's a security guard sitting there, and just sort of ignored us like we belong there or something. I'm wondering why he didn't say, where the hell did you guys come from, or what are you doing here? But he didn't. We just walked on through and went out into the night and went out to dinner. But so anyway, and then next day we went and got the bus to Provincetown. It's a nice long ride, but beautiful. And nearer Provincetown, the scenery and it's like all little cottages on dunes and rolling hills, dunes with forests. The forests are really crazy. The trees in the forest are like something out of a horror movie. They're all like gnarled and twisted, and they have needles like pine needles on them. I don't know what kind of trees these are. They're not like your typical kind of Christmas shaped tree. Pine tree. They're just like it looks like if you saw them in the moonlight, it's like they're all like going wild or attacking you, all the branches going every which way. So it was really kind of fun and creepy to see at the same time. But anyway, we did get into Provincetown and found our hotel, and beautiful hotel, loved it. We had a room with a balcony overlooking the bay, and we could see the moon. And the 2 nights we were there, we woke up and we saw the sunrise over the bay, and that was fun. And there was a big tea dance on Friday night, and that was well attended and very fun. But a lot of the time I just wasn't feeling that great, so I was taking it kind of easy and kind of overeating and getting ill, because my partner likes 3 squares a day and I generally eat 1 meal and snacks. So it's like I wasn't even in the right frame of mind to say, no, I'm not hungry, or no, I don't want that, or no, I'll just sit with you and watch, or just have a beverage. It's crazy. But anyway, a lot of you expressed concern over what happened to me, whether I was sick or where I was or what I was doing. And I considered whether I should pre-record a show or do it live from my phone. I didn't take my laptop with me. I did take my phone, but I wasn't sure if I could figure out how to do it over the phone. And I thought, I'm not good at tech. I'm going to screw it up. And it's been so long since I did a pre-recorded one on StreamYard that I can't even remember how to do it. So there was the other issue. So I thought, well, it's not going to kill everybody if I skip a week. So anyway, here I am back again. Glad to see everybody. And thank you all for your concern. And sorry if you didn't see my note. So anyway, this week I'm doing, I guess is it week number 4 of my clear out. I did show a tarot deck in between, excuse me. And this is, so I'm doing shelf number 4 this week of my clear out. So if anybody in here wants anything from this group of things I'm letting go, you can get in touch with me, robinleecrutchfield@gmail.com. If you didn't catch that, the information's on my channel page. This is timely. So, if you're viewing this back months or years from now, forget it. And also, I'm reluctant to send stuff outside of the country, but might make an arrangement if it's something that really appeals to you. We'll communicate and talk it out. So I'm going to start. First deck is Le Tarot de Marseille by Fournier, and it's in this little blue box. I know a lot of people that have decks from this series prefer the Spanish tarot, and I like this one better myself. I like the coloring. I like the shading. I like the size of Fournier cards. They're really comfortable size. That's the back design, which is kind of nice. And you can see they're a little more slender than the usual tarot card. And I like the colors. And sorry for the glare. These aren't glossy, but there's a little bit of a sheen. But it's sort of a warm deck. I mean, okay, yeah, we have blue, but the blues are not, the colors are not really bright kind of, what's the color scheme I'm talking about? Primary. They're not really primary colors. They're a little bit more subdued. But I do like them. And I don't use Marseille much, but, I'm going to hang on to this. I have a few Marseille decks. I don't use them very much, but I think probably I could, in my whole collection, I could hang on to 4 or 5 and I'd be okay. So I'm going to hang on to this one. It's pretty though. Nice hermit with, I guess that's a lantern. Yes, it's a lantern. So deck number 1, I'm going to keep. If I can get it back in the box. The box is a little bit worn. I have this on my desk at the moment. Okay, then organize. Deck number 2, I got this in a trade with Mendy. It's the Il Tarocco Bizzarro di Franco Bruna. And this one is a pip deck. I think it's from, it says made in Italy. Well, that makes sense. Franco di Bruna. Yeah. Franco Bruna. That's the back design. And I love the wands. The wands are really kind of gnarly. The deck is kind of cartoony. Reminds me sort of illustrations from like the old Mad magazine a little bit. So we've got the sun and the moon reclining in the 2 of cups. Beautiful 2 of cups. And the figures are sort of like caricatures, they're a little bit comical, but nice. It's in Italian, the labels, but you can figure those out pretty easily. Fun images, I think. There's your fool. There's the hermit, like a hermit crab. It's kind of fun. Hello, Alderman. Hello, Brienne. Hello, Tarot Ignited. So that's Il Tarocco Bizarro. I'm going to hang on to that. It's unusual. I don't think I've ever seen a walkthrough before. It adds a little humor in my collection, and I like it. I'm going to keep it. Next are, okay, I bought this one on a whim. This is from Tarot by Seven, and it is a Lenormand, but it's very weird Lenormand, very difficult to use. Vintage German Kaleidoscope Edition by 7 Stars, Tarot by 7. It's a nice size, like little playing cards. But what it is it's kaleidoscopic images of a German deck, and my camera's not going to show it up very well. If you look in really, really close at the details, you can kind of make out some of the imagery, like, I don't know, is that clovers? I don't know, but I had so much trouble using this. I just thought, oh, how fun and how pretty. It's kaleidoscopic. But ultimately, it was just too difficult to use. So I'm going to let this one go. It's a very unusual, and they're not labeled. I think they're numbered. No, if they're numbered, I can't even see the numbers is hidden. Nope, they're not numbered. So you really kind of have to know your, is that a bird or a ring? I think that might be the ring. Yeah, that's the ring. See it? So you really have to know your what's slipping through my mind right now. Your Lenormand in order to use it. And it comes in a kind of little hard plastic box. I'm going to let that one go. I don't think anybody's going to want it, but I'm going to let it go. Should put a rubber band around that so when I put it in the bag, it doesn't all fall apart, but I'll fix that later. All right, next one is, who's here? Hi, Zach. Tiger's Abyss. And Krista, Nine Worlds Tarot. Okay, the next one is the Tarot of A.E. Waite. A lot of people know this one. I don't think you can get it in the States. I think I had to send to the UK for this. It's by AGM. And it really is a beautiful box, very, very kind of hard box. And it's nicely detailed and nicely colored with the crackle back. I love the crackle back of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and the only thing, it doesn't have Pixie's font, but that never bothered me. But I like it. It's the cards feel nice. The detail is there in the line work. The color is good, I think. I like it. It's a really nice deck, I think. It does come with a little white book. Not that I need to have a whole bunch of Rider-Waite-Smith decks, but I'm going to keep this for a while. I'm mostly clearing out the obvious ones that I don't use, or the ones that really are stifling my shelves and, edging out space so I can't you know, put new stuff on there. So I'm gonna when I'm all done, we'll see how much shelf space I've made, but already it's helped quite a bit. Um, and so, oh, and at the end of all these shelf at a time weeks, I will do a rerun or retread or whatever of all the decks I'm letting go. So if you miss each week, you have a last chance at the very end if there's something that you want to see what I'm letting go. Because here I'm showing what I'm keeping and what I'm letting go. AGM did a good job on that deck. It made me disregard any other RWS clone, variant, or reproduction. All right, this one's tricky. It's the Celtic Lenormand. This is really good. I always disliked the box. I mean, I like it as a box. It's nice and sturdy. I love a two-part box. I just didn't care much for the art on the cover of the box. It's got a little white book that's pretty hefty, and it's by artwork by Will Worthington that everybody loves, written by Chloe McCracken. I think, as I recall, that the information in the book is pretty good. It's got like this weird little recess thing in there to hold the cards. And I like the size of the cards. They're kind of like playing card size. It's the backs. These are the fronts. They're borderless. They're numbered, so you have the mice. And I like the illustrations okay. Some of them are a little tricky. Like, I think, let me see. I think this is the paths, because you have a path splitting, going two directions. I'm not sure. They're not labeled. They're just numbered. That is, I'm guessing, the mountain. The book. There are a couple that don't. Oh, I think there's two versions of the birds. And I probably put the other ones in the bottom of the box that I wasn't going to use. Hold on. I think the little tray comes out. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, I didn't. Where did I put them? They must just be in there in the bottom of the deck, unless I've tucked them in the book. Anyway, there's two versions of the birds, and there's two versions of the tree. I think there's a winter tree. And oops. This is, I'm not sure what 25 is. I want to say this is the ring, although, are they wearing a ring? It's like sort of, I think it's kind of like a hand clasping or hand fasting, which maybe signifies a ring. Some of them are a little bit confusing. Nice bear. Nice illustrations, but it's, I don't know. I like this tree. The other one's sort of a winter tree. The scythe. I have, oh, this one was confusing. I think that one might be the casket, the coffin, but I'm not sure. And it's really confusing. Hi, Sandra. So, as much as I sort of like the illustrations, some of them are kind of confusing, and I have other Lenormand decks that I sort of like better. There's also, I think, two versions of the women and the men. And it has a kind of a, I don't know, was it Celtic feel? This, I think, is the tower, which is confusing because it's not very tall. So yeah, I'm just not that crazy about the symbols in this one, as well illustrated as they are. So I'm letting this one go. It's pretty easy to find, though. That's the Celtic Lenormand. So that's going in my going away bag. Um, Next one, by comparison, this one I'm hanging on to, I think. This is the Mystical Lenormand by Regula Elizabeth Flechter. Can't, I don't know. It's got a little white book, which is okay. And this was the first Lenormand I got before I even knew how to read Lenormand. Beautiful backs. Again, smallish cards, sort of playing card size. And each one is kind of like in this little, like a vignette in a little window. I like the imagery in it. And I got this to use as an oracle before I knew how to use it as Lenormand, how to read Lenormand. And mostly I like it. And there's a couple cards that are a little strange to me, but I mean, symbolically they all work, but stylistically a couple cards are a little strange. So I'm going to hang on to this. I think there's also in this another like 2 men and 2 women. It's kind of a sweet little deck. It's like, here's one of the weird cards. I mean, has a very kind of English look, but here's, something Egyptian. And I think one of the cards is sort of Japanese, and it's sort of like, I don't know. I'm not sure about like mixing these strange cultures into one deck. But I kind of like it. I'll hang on to that. Doesn't take up much space. Now here I have 2 decks that I never use, I don't look at, but it's kind of fun to drag out around Christmas and look at. These are Krampus playing cards, and Simon will remember I gifted him a set of these. And Christmas is coming up soon, so I may drag those out again. They're playing cards. It's like, what do I do with playing cards unless I play solitaire? It's like I don't have anybody that particularly likes to play cards with me. But they have really nice, fun, kind of vintage Krampus postcard images on the cards that are sort of animated and really antique. The colors are nice, really interesting. You might be able to see this better in the walkthrough on my channel if you're interested, or the one on Simon's channel. It'll be much sharper if you dig back far enough. But yeah, these are fun. So I don't think people much know about Krampus in the United States. I mean, there was a movie made called Krampus a few years ago, but and these were cheap. I think they were about $10 a piece on Amazon a few years ago. I haven't checked to see if they're still available, but I wouldn't be surprised. And they're both pretty much the same. I won't show you both, but they're both kind of similar kind of images. I don't think there's any repeats between the 2 decks. So that's the Krampus playing cards. For nostalgia's sake, I'll hold on to those. Oh, here's another Lenormand deck from Tarot by 7. This is the 2017 Samhain Lenormand. And the thing I liked about this is linen cardstock and these backs with the skulls. This is a really nice kind of Halloween sort of Lenormand. Hello, Tarot Ignited. If I didn't welcome you before, Simon loves those decks. Love the boxes, says Sandra. Robin always has decks I've never seen before. So refreshing. So yeah, these are kind of fun. I think this is a bonus card actually, but and they're all like framed within like a casket shape. But other than that, I mean, this is the tower, and I think they put some bats flying in that. But other than that, there's nothing really Samhain about it. The key, I think, oh, there's a ghostly hand or skeletal hand. It has a kind of an antique look. They didn't really do too much to it to make it Samhain, related, other than the framing and the casket. And on occasion, they added a couple little extra elements, but it's antique looking, and it's kind of nice. I never use it, but I don't think I need it, but I think I probably will hold on to it a little while. So that's the Samhain Lenormand from 2017. I like that the stock is linen. For that alone, it might be nice to keep. I don't think I have any other linen stock Lenormand. Let's see. Here I have my 1JJ Swiss Tarot from AGM. Again, I think I sent to the UK for this. I think if it says AGM, I don't think I got it in the States. I don't think they have a representative here for sales. But everybody knows this one. Nice backs. I think I had this fairly early on back in the 70s, but didn't hang on to it. And because you didn't read pips really at the time. And so I let it go. I mean, it's nice primary colors, bright, cheery. If you like Lenormand, I mean, not Lenormand, Tarot de Marseille, you might like this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the pips are arranged like Marseille exactly or not. I don't know how strict that is, but it's, I mean, it's such a classic that I think I'll probably just hang on to it. At least I don't feel an urgency to let this go. So what time is it getting to be? Oh, we're halfway through. I have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 to 14 more to show you. So we'll see how quickly we can go. Okay, next one is, I didn't get this at first. This is the Leonora Carrington Major Arcana. I didn't get this initially because as much as I love Leonora Carrington, these aren't like the best cards in the world. And I didn't like the format. Now it comes in a sleeve, and the box is really, really a real hefty 2-part box, real hard cardstock. The cards themselves are almost squarish. There is a little guidebook inside, and this thing, it smells of perfume. I don't know why. It's the only deck I have that they put a scent to, like perfume. I don't. The cards are like oracle size cards or something, you know, big and wide and sort of hard to shuffle. And it's a majors only deck. I have no issue with majors only. I wish the cards were a little bit more manageable than this, not big on the square thing. Probably they did that because they weren't originally designed as cards. She did paintings of the major arcana, and then after she died, they issued them as a set of cards. And they're really unusual. And I mean, I love the surrealists. I love particularly the female surrealists. And I also love it when artists in classical art um, delve into metaphysics and spirituality. And so, I mean, it's for me, this is just kind of a really fun kind of piece to have for reference. But it is one that I probably could use. I think more than anything, the format of the cards would keep me from using it rather than the fact that it's a majors or because of the imagery. But anyway, that is a cool deck, says Marilyn's Tarot Tank. Saskia loves this deck. Love her art, says Ralph. Hello, Ralph. I like how unusual they are, says Sandra. She has the deck. Oh, hello, Will and Brienne. These are very, very nice, interesting. I don't think I've seen that one. Absolutely beautiful. Not sure you can still get it. I think I had to order through some museum or gallery or something to get it. So, and it's not cheap. And if you're not into majors only, I guess there's not much point. But check it out. You'll have better walkthroughs online than what I have in terms of seeing the detail. But oh, here you can. It says Fulgur Press. So maybe if you Google Lenora Carrington Fulgur Press, you might be able to find it. The backs are not so beautiful. No, just kind of plain silver backs. All right, I'm keeping that one. This one, I have it in a tin. This came shrink wrap from my friend Ted Veach. I had talked about wanting a black and white RWS. And the only one I had seen, I think, was a German one that was out of print, and it was super expensive. And you couldn't. He goes, "Oh, I got one," and so he did one, and he sent it to me, and it's great. It's got the roses and lilies back in gray, and his color one is still to date my favorite RWS. These are make playing cards, so like really silky smooth, nice cardstock. And this one really helps you appreciate Pixie's line art because there's no coloring. It's just the art. And I guess there's still a question as to whether she did the coloring or somebody else added the coloring later. But we know that she did the line art. So if you want to give her credit where credit is due, she's responsible for all of this. And I like having a black and white version. I think sometimes when you get the color in it, as nice as the color is, you pay less attention to certain details in the line work. So this one strips away the color and you really can see the line work for artwork for what it is. So it's really well done. I really love this. So it's my black and white RWS in a tin to store it. By the way, these tins, I assume you can still get them on Amazon, were fairly cheap. I think they were like, I don't know, $5 for $10 or something like that. 3 for $10. I don't remember. It's kind of a weird shaped window. They also had solid ones, but I like the window ones because you can tell at a glance what deck is in each one. And I just throw masking tape, ugly masking tape on the outside to label it so I can find them easily on my shelves. About 6 more to go. 139. Okay. This one is my Dirty Pam. I might still have the box somewhere, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, I think a lot of you know the Dirty Pam. They did reissue this full size as the Radiant Wise Spirit, but it looks different. It's like very glossy. And even though the coloring is similar, it looks sort of like it was dipped in olive oil. This one doesn't have that feel. And also they did it as a mini, but the mini doesn't have, I think, the black pinstripe border. It just has like a little white border. And I prefer having that little line, black line around it. And I think I like this size better than the mini too. But it has that kind of moody atmospheric background. But it's kind of hard to find. You might be able to find it on eBay. I'm not sure. It's called the Pamela Coleman Smith RWS Tarot, maybe? I'm not sure. That's what I wrote down, but maybe that was just a reference I wrote from myself. But our community knows it as the Dirty Pam. So I'm going to hang on to that. Next, I have, this is a backup copy of one of my favorite decks, the Mara Loon, shrink wrapped. I think I got this on MPC. And when I first got it, I loved it so much I got a backup. So there's no point in my opening this until I have problems with my other one, which is being stored in another place, which will come up again, and I'll walk you through some of the images. But it's a backup, and I'm getting a little bit more particular about, do I keep backups or not? And some of them I'm keeping and some I'm letting go. This is one that I love this deck so much, and it was an independent deck, so I'm keeping the backup. If it's mass produced and I rarely use it, I'm probably letting the backups go. Next one is another Tarot by 7 one. This is the John Waterhouse Oracle. And this is one where you could choose the back designs, sort of kaleidoscopic back designs. It's not exactly, it sort of says it's linen finish, but doesn't exactly feel so much like a linen finish. But it's beautiful, kind of classic images with no labeling or anything, just imagery. And so people that need keywords and things on oracles, this is probably not the deck for you. I like the fact that just intuitively you could enjoy Waterhouse's painting images and use it, read them like an oracle. If you can interpret the images in a way that's meaningful to you, you can use it as an oracle. It's not a deck that I pulled out to use in a long time. I almost never use oracles anymore. I think I have 1 or 2 that I use, and they do have, at least a single word on them. But yeah, I'm hanging on to this just because as an art deck of Waterhouse's paintings, it's pretty to have. So there's that. Let's see. Going to be reading here at a Mystic Fair next weekend. I'm wondering about taking a Majors Only along with my RWS working deck. It depends on how comfortable you are working with majors, I think. Honestly, going back, I think Sandra says, I don't think you can get them anymore. I think she's referring to the Leonora Carrington. Saskia, I have this deck. I totally love it. And I'm not sure which one she's talking about. She's talking about the Waterhouse or the Carrington or or the Maraloon. Excuse me a second. Okay, 2, 4, 6, about 7, 6, 7 decks to go. Next, I have Scylla Conway. I almost said Scylla Black. I will do that all the time. Scylla Conway's Intuitive Tarot. I saw this on, oh my God, what is his name? I can't remember the name of his channel. If it pops into my head, I'll give him credit. I saw this on another channel and I fell in love with it because it was so odd. And again, card size I don't like. It's got a it's in a nice hinged box. It's got a substantial guidebook with little thumbnails on each page. And I like her artwork. I don't like the formatting of the cards, or I should say the size of the cards rather than the formatting. I like, the label and the black band at the bottom and everything. This one, it feels like another world, another planet or something, which I kind of like. Some of the images look like they're from, an ancient culture on the earth, and yet other ones feel like it could be something out of a sci-fi movie series or book from another planet or something. And I just kind of like the stylized quality of the image that she uses in here, which are in a lot of ways less flowing than her later works, of which I don't have. I only have this by her and the Byzantine Tarot. It's the only 2 decks I have by Scylla Conway. But this has a very kind of spiritual feel. The images, I like the angularity, the curve of them. They're all within a sort of an egg shape format on the cards. The color palette's interesting. Anyway, that's the Intuitive Tarot. Don't know if that's still available. I'm thinking it might be, but I don't know for sure. Next, this one, I don't like the box it came in. It's just sort of a brown box with some stickers on it. This is the Little Monsters Tarot, which at one time was an absolute favorite. I don't like the finish on these cards. And this came in 2 versions. This size, which is large, again, larger cards than I'm comfortable with, and a smaller version. The earlier one was smaller, and I missed out on it. And then I acquired it later. So I prefer the smaller one. The finish on this is a little slicker, a little more satiny. It's less of a nice cardstock on the smaller ones, but I like the size better on the smaller ones. This again are some really wonderful kind of ink line, pen and ink drawings. And I believe they not too long ago released this with trim so that the cards are ovals, not rectangles, which suits this idea of the way they're framed better. But I don't think that cards that are ovals or circles or other shapes are as easy to shuffle and handle as rectangles. So I prefer this. Now, this more or less currently acts as a backup, and it is an independent release. And I don't use the smaller version of the deck much anymore. So I'm not sure about keeping this. I think it's kind of in demand, and I might let it go. So I'm going to put this in my box to go, and because I'm going to keep the smaller one that I do use, even though I don't use it as much as I used to. So there you go, little monsters. What have we got left? Oh, here I have the Open Face Tarot. This is my tarot, the Ghosted Edition. And this is one I did because somebody saw my open face and they didn't like the oops. They didn't like the line on kind of plain cardstock or ivory cardstock. And so I think it was requested that I do a reverse. This was around the time I think that Patrick Valenza was doing all his, weird reversals and things. So I thought, oh, okay, what the hell? And I don't use it very much, but it's an alternative to the other version that I have. So there is this. I think I still have this available at makeplayingcards.com. So there's that. Just to have it as an example, I've got, a copy of it. So yeah, I hang on to that. This one kind of looks like chalk marks on a chalkboard. The quality of the line is kind of rough and chalky, which I don't like as well. The other one is like a sepia watercolor pencil with a bit of a bleed, and I like that quality better than this. So that's my own personal preference. I'm hanging on to that. Okay, here. Why do I have two copies of this? Okay, I have the Keishobu Tarot that I think I told you I'm letting go. I have the Old Fellow Tarot that I bought that I love. And I have, this looks to be a backup of the Old Fellow that's still sealed. So I'll hang on to that because I do love that deck. But it seems like I've got another copy too. I don't know what this one is. Huh. Oh. Well, I think this one is the first one I got that's on a slick cardstock. And then I found it was on linen and I got it on linen. So I've got it on linen and on like slick stock. I don't know whether I need this or not, but I think I'm going to give it 6 months. I'll put it back on the shelf and revisit letting that go in 6 months. This one I won't even open. I know what this is. It's a skinny little sort of domino size or domino shaped box. This is a copy of my Toadstool Tarot, my signature Toadstool Tarot deck that I did, which when we get to that on another shelf or another section, I will show you the cards. But they're all like little mushroom images on black backgrounds. You can look on my channel for a walkthrough if you want. I thought I should have a signature Toadstool Tarot deck for people if they wanted it. It's majors only, plus 4 elements and 4 suits. So it's 30, I think that's 30 cards, 22 plus 4 plus 4, 30 cards in a little box, an unusual format. And I wasn't sure how to use it at first when I created it, but I sort of like the idea. It's not like a full 78 card deck, but it's got your majors. It has the energy of the elements, It doesn't have suits. It doesn't have like cups, swords, but it has earth, air, fire, water. So it has that kind of energy you can use. And then it also has the hierarchy of the courts, page, knight, queen, king. So it has that energy too. So you can kind of, if you can find a way to work with it, you've got what you need in that deck. But this is my backup, unopened. So I'm hanging on to that. Okay, well, only 3 left. Let's see what's in this one. This is in a Kelly Bear pouch with a toadstool on it. Oh. 154. We're doing well. I've only got 3 left. Oh, okay. This is a backup copy of my 78 card, Eyes Wide Tarot. Shrink wrapped. I haven't opened it yet. So it's like, I did this because after I did my majors only open face, people requested a full 78. And I did it, but it's not really quite the same. And you can see walkthroughs of that. I'll hang on to that. I should probably put something else in this pouch, though. Kelly is not ungenerous with the ribbons on her pouches. I don't know why they're so long. It just seems like they're about 36 inches long in the wraparounds here, but nice pouches, very well crafted. Okay, the final 2. Here's one I'm not sure about. Let me see. Oval would be cool too if it was a chubby oval. Hello, Golden, late to the party. Speaks to her integrity. She's not forcing the inspiration. I'm certain if an idea were to come to her, she would. Who are they talking about? Some different shapes give a little extra spice. I've always wanted a round tarot deck, but never seen one to my liking. She's a wonderful artist. I feel sad there won't be any more Scylla Conway decks. Oh, has she decided? Has she passed? Or has she decided not to make any more? Love odd size shaped decks, harder to shuffle. Oh, wait a minute. Have most of her decks. Don't think she's making any more decks. Her work's fascinating. Found Byzantine Tarot Mint for $12 last week. Was over the moon. Okay. Scylla decided not to make any more. Okay. Well, she's got a lot. And she might change her mind if she finds additional inspiration. This is one I saw on Simon's channel. It's the Junior Tarot Reader's Deck and Guidebook. Terrible name. I don't like names like, oh, hey, Antoinette. I'm caught up. So how many went back on the shelf, Robin? We're not there yet. And I probably won't show you how many. I'm more apt to show you. In the end, I'll show you the ones that aren't going on the shelf rather than the ones that are. Each one, ooh, I smell bleach. I think it's the super mopping the halls. Saw this on Simon's channel, and it's in a nice, like, hinged little box. And although it's in a weird sleeve and like kind of a book that's sort of like hooked into another sleeve. It's very simplistic in a way, and I like the palette, the color palette. I mean, it's made sort of for kids, so they're all like children or youngish people in the cards. I like the simplification of the imagery, and they're very easy to read as the RWS. And oh dear, you know, as I'm liking it, I mean, looking at it, I'm liking it again. I was ready to let this go. And now I don't know because I haven't used it. I think when I use it, I feel like it's a kid's deck. I shouldn't be using it. But I don't need to keep it in this box. I could keep it in its own pouch and forget what the title of it is, maybe. I really like the color palette and the imagery. It's really a nice little deck. I mean, it's a good deck kind of for a rainy day because all the backgrounds are sort of like cloudy, murky, contemplative, and yet there's sort of joy in a lot of the images. But there's a lot of solitude in the deck too. I love the quality of the art in this deck. That's really unusual. I was really taken with this. Uh, can't remember. I don't think any of the titles were changed, but I could be wrong as I'm flashing by with them. And if you see anything that looks different, so I like decks that hold to the traditional titles on the cards. I don't like this box packaging or the title of the deck, but I do like the cards. Maybe I should toss the box and keep it in a pouch. Very gentle, says Golden. Yes. Which one is that? Will says it's the junior tarot readers. If you've got kids and want to turn them on to tarot, this is a very, very friendly little deck. It's published by RP Kids, Running Press. Running Press Kids, runningpress.com/RP Kids. It was under 20, $18.99, and it came out this last year, a few months ago, I think. Oh, this is tempting, but if I'm tempted, I think I'm going to hang on to it. Now the last one. This is Patrick Valenza's Royal Mischief cards. It's one of his most accessible and cheapest decks. It comes in a nice little sturdy 2-part box. It's a set of playing cards. One of the things I dislike most about this deck is the gray slate metal edging. It's like I'm not big on edging anyway, and particularly metallic edging on cardstock. Oh, it is signed and dated 2020. It's glossy. I'm not super big on glossy decks. I don't like the gunmetal edging. They are playing cards, not tarot cards. They have interesting images. Most of the images are landscape mode, where he's overlaid the pips from playing cards on images that he's done. I'm wrong now about the landscape. Some are landscape and some aren't. They're mixed. And if you like him just for his artwork, it's worth kind of keeping. I mean, I was ready to let this go, and now I don't know. I don't know. As a usable deck, don't think much of it. As a collection of his images, you can even see which way's up on this one. I think it's this way. I sort of like the concept of it, but I don't know if I think it might be a little bit too convoluted for my sensibilities, and it's like I've got a few too many things going on in here that I don't care for. I think I might let this go. So that's the Patrick Valenza Royal Mischief Transformation playing cards. So that's going in the bag. So I don't know how many I started off with today. I usually around 20 to a shelf. So what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it looks like I got rid of this week only maybe about what, 4 decks? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think only 4. But you do what you do. Oh, it's after two already. I'm gonna let you go, I guess. Let's see. Going out soon. Glad you're feeling better. Really love this kids deck. Beautiful for us growing up kids. Yes, keep it. Hi, says Madame Maru. Been lunch lurking. Like the white on black. Open face. Would pair well with the Portent Tarot. Okay. So I'm Brienne. Hello. Hi. So anyway, it's time to go. I will see you all next Saturday with maybe shelf number 5. Thanks for joining me today. See you soon. Bye.